Hi, I'm Terry Jones. I lead talent and development for Palo Alto Networks across EMEA, JPAC, that's Japan, Asia Pacific, and Latin America. Leadership is absolutely critical. Critical to understanding the team members, the individuals, and providing that choice to the individuals, for example, on where and how they want to work. And I think equipping leaders, there's this huge focus on leaders. I'm spending so much time developing leaders, as I always do, but particularly at the moment, trying to transition them into being effective leaders so they can, and their teams can thrive in this sort of hybrid working world that we're now in. And I think that requires new skill sets, and it requires a massive mindset shift for a lot of people. And I think the starting point is sitting down, understanding, what are those strengths, what are the aspirations and desires of that individual, and recognizing, that their focus should be on the outputs of those individuals, and not obsessed with the presenteeism of being in an office or working a traditional 9-to-5 day. So I think there's a whole sort of progressive mindset shift that needs to happen in leadership. And of course we know, and all the research tells us, up to around 70% of what's going to happen in terms of the culture and influence on those teams is going to come from the leader. So the tone that they set and that listening and empathy that they show, I think is absolutely critical. I mean, there are a number of mechanisms there, of course, that they can use to support, besides their sort of human listening, empathy skills. Having really strong goals and milestones, or OKRs or KPIs or objectives, however you call them in your organization. But, making sure that they're really, really crystal clear, and that there is a great coaching and receptive feedback culture, which I think is amplified actually in the hybrid working world. But by setting that clarity out in terms of goals and enabling the individual to craft those initially and polish them together with you as the manager, I think empowers the individual, and it also enables you as the leader to get out of the way with the comfort and confidence that the individual's clear about what they're doing, that they will develop through that process, and that they can go and create those outputs. Obviously requiring the right checking points. At the same time, we're looking at, the benefits that people get and making sure they're flexible. So coming back to this sort of, how do we get an engaged and loyal workforce that feel valued and we retain our talent? The benefits we also provide are very flexible. So we're doing lots of things like that, and other benefits that support well-being. We give each of our employees $250 every quarter for well-being, and that could be again based upon what that individual defines as well-being. It could be their Netflix subscription, it could be their vegetable patch that they've created in their garden, it could be sports equipment, running shoes, whatever that individual uniquely describes as well-being that supports them. We support them in that flexible way. And coming into sort of the talent development world and the learning development world more specifically, we provide a flex learn environment as well. So we're trying to make sure that we're recognizing people have personalized journeys. So we've moved away from any sort of sheep dipping and big programs and cohorts and this type of approach, which has been very traditional, something I've been heavily involved with as well in the past. To saying, look, here's some core elements, and the role of the talent and OD function is very much to provide the opportunities and facilitate and raise the awareness, and then help people craft those individual personalized learning journeys. So I think that, this is an evolution, but I think again, it comes back to, fully supporting the uniqueness of the individual. And within that, of course, or the red thread throughout all of this is about inclusion, and it's about diversity, and it supports those two things superbly in my view.